Guess what?
What's up? You got $1 million?
Guess what?
What's up? Tell me.
Guess what?
What's up?
Guess what?
What?
Oh!
You're not really corporal.
Hi, Nicole. What are you doing?
I don't know, looks kind of suspect. Could be an imposter, you know,
If you a baddie and you Filipino, this is for you.
I would like to wish you a happy birthday and I wish you the best of everything. Sorry, I'm not the speaker trading.
Little white men from the United States scurry to me like rats.
Yeah. It should be pretty clear to everyone new to this channel that yes, unfortunately, I am a Filipino myself. Not a half Filipino, not a quarter Filipino, or even a foreigner just living in this country. I'm 100% pure Pinoy and I spent my entire life in this hellhole until like 2 months ago. For a while, I haven't looked back from my life back home because of all its, issues. But then I found a post on Twitter that said, quote, "Name one thing this country gave to the world." And this made me come back and reflect my thoughts on the state of my own country. And since almost every video I've ever made has the obligatory "Are you Filipino?" comment, I think it's time to lore drop a little because, trust me, I have some very conflicting thoughts I'd like to share. Now, disclaimer that I'm no minister of culture, so I'll just try to put whatever I can from my perspective for the next, like, what, 15 minutes or something? But oh well, nothing's gonna stop some of y'all for disliking the video anyway, so whatever. Now, first of all, to all the uncultured swine out there, the Philippines is an archipelagic country located, like, here, I think? And it's most famous for its beautiful nature, Jollibee, mega diverse culture, Jollibee, chronically online population, Jollibee, and names that foreigners don't bother pronouncing correctly.
In 2010, they bought the majority of Mang Nasal.
Oh, and also Jollibee. But for me, I see the country more as the epitome of missed potential. For the people ready to flame me in the comments, let's rewind a bit. Despite being born in Metro Manila, I didn't live there until I was like 15 since I spent most of my time in other provinces, living in rented houses and attending multiple schools that are nearby wherever my mom worked. And I mean, despite having to repeatedly adapt to new environments every few years, life at home always remained constant. Like having to put an elder's hand on your forehead, eating every meal with rice, well, mostly, and setting up the Christmas tree the moment it turns September. Merry Christmas, by the way. And of course, I gotta mention the universal dread of 6 AM Mondays, when the iconic yellow vans finally bring me and my snazzy uniform to school. Almost an hour later, and I'm just in time for classes to start at 7:30 AM. But since it's a Filipino school, I was actually late because it turns out there was a flag ceremony that took place half an hour before. So thank you, EDSA traffic, for that. Anyways, right after we finish our prayer to the big man above, it's time to actually start classes. And the subjects themselves change based on your grade level. In elementary, or grade school, you'll be taught how to read and write not only in the English and standardized Filipino language, but also in your home language, wherever that may be, because there's like hundreds of them. In high school, you'll be taught all the famous Filipino literature, the meaning of being a Catholic, aka 80% of the population, and home economics, which I fucking loved very much. Oh, and online classes took place in my 9th grade, and it was pretty much like this.
You know, the transmitters on these microphones are not strong, like a Shure, professional ball mic, like a, what was...
And once you're in 11th grade, you'll be able to choose a strand that changes which subjects you will take for the next 2 years. Well, except for research classes, where every group of 5 students has to produce and present their own research papers that correlate with their own strand. Which was... fun. So let's calm down a bit and talk about food. And God, I love some of the cafeteria food, man. If it's recess, have some pandesal, fish balls, turon, siomai, wieners, wieners. All these other 20 peso snacks, and fried or gross. Topped off with some gulaman. When it's lunchtime, enjoy your rice with some pancit, corned beef, tocino, longanisa, and the goat itself, fried chicken, topped off with fresh cold Milo. But if you still have some leftover sinigang, spaghetti, or adobo, or as the cool kids call it, adobo, go ahead and pack it up in some Tupperware as baon. And fuck it, I gotta remind y'all again that fried chicken's the greatest food to ever live. And I'm especially talking about Jollibee chicken, cause that shit just hits different, man. And let me detour a bit to ask what the hell adobo rice is. Because I've seen American reviewers talk about adobo rice when our Jollibees don't even have that stuff. And no. Y'all also got Korean barbecue fried chicken? Bro, why are we missing out on such peak? Oh well. Let's at least give love to all the other local food shops out there. And especially the fan favorite,
Mang ay nasal.
Now that school's over, it's time to head back to the school bus and await all the chika or gossip that's been brewing for the past week. May jowa pala si Miss La Forteza? Isang YouTuber pala si Juan de la Cruz? Merong bagong transferee na Koreano at pogi? At, ay nako, nag-cut class si Carlos na naman para lang mag-ML sa bahay. As you can see, we Filipinos love our gossip, for better or for worse, since we love being social and treating each other like family. And I think this connects to how dominantly Catholic and Muslim the people are, because these religions are strong believers in traditional family and friendship, and have influenced much of our culture, language, architecture, traditions, and holidays. And I think it's great to have both Christian and Muslim holidays, because that means I get more days to relax after the hell of finals week. And by relax, I mean attending the debuts of rich friends and attending concerts of the few celebrities who know what this country even is. Okay, but for real though, the way to actually relax after a stressful semester is to wind back and enjoy our scheduled lakwa to the new mall that had just been built. And Jesus Christ, God, Manila is so beautiful, where all the cool malls, churches, museums, beaches, restaurants, NFT burgers, and celebrity concerts are. And everything is so cheap too. Like only $5 is enough to eat for the whole day. And not to mention all the other beautiful landmarks, wonderfully nice people, and the eye-catching capital itself. Who wouldn't want to stay in my country? Well, me. I didn't want to. And I left the Philippines months ago because, well, I lied. There's been so many videos I see that glamorize the country, YouTubers who say how amazingly cheap it is, konyo, or wealthy English-speaking vloggers who share their lives in luxury malls with fucking labubus and matcha lattes, tourists who only see the handful of clean beaches, and commentators who think our country is absolutely thriving or completely done for. But guess what? It's actually none of the two. And we actually have so much potential despite all the issues we have right now. Every single word I've said so far in this video is just from my perspective, from someone lucky enough to have a decent education in and out of the capital and have enough money to leave the damn country. Wonder why everything doesn't cost as much? Probably because everyone's not getting paid much either. Jollibee, despite being a national treasure of mine, is unaffordable for millions of people. And hell, even my private school's teachers admitted to not being paid enough to live comfortably, even with their master's degrees in education, being forced to take public transportation through the hellish traffic of the city every single day. I mean, it is pretty easy to clog roads when you can just buy your driver's license, but I ain't judging. And those with decent money are probably already planning to leave for a better country. I mean, it's not just our massive diaspora population. Ask some of our rich Nepo babies and they'll tell you.
Anonymous Pinoy Confessions. I have a friend, si Jeremy. He is a party goer. Because of his partying, he met very affluent and wealthy people. I asked how their parents became wealthy. Ang sabi sa kanya, the way they got rich is through infrastructure projects. They tripled the prices of materials on paper to receive more budget allotment, purchase substandard materials, and pocket the rest of the allocated budget. I asked if the kids were aware of the ongoing corruption scandals happening in our country and the heinous actions that their parents have done. Ang sabi ni Jeremy, bro, they don't give a fuck. I asked Jeremy kung natatakot ba sila na ma-expose sa media. Ang sabi niya, all of them have already moved away to Europe and the US, and most remain very anonymous.
And if you think our desire for foreign countries is just economic, think again, because it's also ingrained in our culture too. Now, you know how some people are known for being a bit too proud of their country? I mean, look at how some Americans treat their own damn president. But the Philippines has the opposite problem, because many people here have the quote, colonial mentality, aka preferring the culture of the countries that colonized us. Some of you may be confused, because I talk to a Filipino and they're proud of sharing their dearly beloved Jollibee. But outside of speaking to foreigners, chances are the urban youth would prefer foreign music, language, religion, politics, and education while being oblivious to their own country's issues.
What's your thoughts on the flag control issue?
I think it's not safe for work answer. I think it's safe kasi like UST is part ng rally naman. Pero red, because I cannot.
And I'll admit that I'm under this umbrella too. I make videos on Western topics, speaking pure English while listening to whatever this is. And just 2 months ago, I moved out, finally free from my Filipino-American identity crisis, which makes the entire concept of Pinoy pride feel a bit insecure, don't you think? How could people claim to be proud and nationalistic while also being attracted to foreign cultures? The answer to this lies in the weird state the country is in right now. Because while the Philippines is home to truly unique cultures, traditions, and landscapes, living in the country is a mess with lacking education, low wages, and high poverty rates. And you know what happens when you have a large population of poor and uneducated people? Yeah, they elect a former dictator's kid in a landslide and allow politicians to run the most egregious, shameless banner spamming I have ever seen. Combine all this in a country with typhoons and earthquakes every week, and you have an absolute fiasco. And this is the big reason why I'm mostly quiet when talking about my nationality. Because I'm not proud to knowing how many issues it has despite being rich in natural resources. This country could be so much more, but all it can show at the moment are glimpses of progress with help from foreign companies and those random street interviews.
Watch brand has a crown logo.
Relax.
With all this said, I can finally go back to this tweet and answer the question in hand. Because in all honesty, this country gave a lot. Remember that this country is 7,000 islands full of culture and traditions, and the mainstream shit you see on Twitter only scratches the surface of it. Even if a lot of Filipinos aren't happy with the country's current state, many of them are still proud enough to share their country with foreigners. Even I myself would smile when the waiter taking my order is Filipino. And I think this perfectly describes what Filipinos are. Resilient. Even with all the bullshit going on, even with all the drawbacks we face, we still want to declare that we're Filipino. And we're not going to give up so easily. I sincerely hope that the country could one day improve and be rich enough to bring its workers back. But honestly, I understand that it's a bit too optimistic. But oh well, we can only dream. Oh, and this country also gave the other Miss La Forteza. That's pretty gnarly too.
Stay there. Hey man, pangit ang pangalan mo, Nathan. Hindi ka mukhang homo sapien. Ikaw ay homosexual na Dalmatian. Para kang grade 1, magaling ka magbilang, pero hanggang 8 lang.